It's time for us to show that heat, that this weekend will be on your feet. It's the Heat Check.
Welcome to the Heat Check. I am your host, Jacques Slade, and there are a ton of sneakers that are releasing this week. So let me stop running my mouth and let's get right to the shoes. Heat Check. Back in October, Nike officially introduced us to the Air Max 2014. Well, it looks like this weekend we're finally going to get our chance to get our hands on a pair. Finish Line is actually going to get their hands on 3 colorways of the shoe, all of which feature a lightweight engineered mesh, a lightweight foam and seamless overlay that conforms to the shape of your foot, as well as the obvious Air Max. Now these are actually available right now for $180, but if you're looking for something that's a little less expensive, Finish Line is also going to have the Nike Air Max Tailwind 6, but it's only going to cost $120. Heat Check. And skipping from running to basketball, it looks like Adidas is going to give you a little taste of Chicago with the new colorway of the D-Rose 4. AKA the Chicago Nightfall. The shoe is actually inspired by the way that the city looks at night. Now Adidas has taken 2 colors of purple, one here in the front and one here in the rear, and those are inspired by the city skyline, and the other is by Lake Michigan. Now they've also added some yellow here on the outsole, you can see, which is to represent the lights of the city. Now for those of you that are keeping track, the D-Rose 4 is actually $20 cheaper than it was last year, and this colorway is available right now for $140. Heat Check. Fans of the Kobe 9 are probably super excited after the recent announcement, but those don't drop until February, so you have to wait for those. But right now, you can actually get the Kobe 8. In this instance, you may be able to get your hands on almost all of the Kobe 8s in one shoe, as they're going to release the What the Kobe. As you can clearly see, the model takes design cues from several Kobe 8 colorways that dropped this year. That includes the patterns that they use on the engineered mesh as well as the colors. Now pricing for these is going to be $140, and they'll be available starting on December 6th. Heat Check. Well, if you are a fan of the Jordan 6 rings, you have probably been busy the last couple of weeks. Well, it doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon, as Jordan Brand plans to release the black and gamma blue colorway. Now this shoe is going to be available in adult to toddler sizes. The adult price is $160, whereas the toddler is only $55. Now for those that are paying attention, you will notice that these rock the same colorway as the Jordan 11s that are going to drop later in December. Luckily, we have a little time in between the two, and we don't have to get both of them at the same time. And also, I should let you know, if there is a young lady in your life or a girl in your life, that there's a 6 rings dropping for her as well, and that's going to be in black, sparkle, and white. Heat Check. Just because you make something lighter doesn't make it better. However, that just might be the case with the Air Force Max CB2 Hyperfuse. Bringing 1993 to 2013, the Charles Barkley staple adds Hyperfuse to the upper and adds a nice mix of wolf gray and gamma blue. Of course, there is also the Air Max on the heel for some extra cushioning, and you can grab this one for $150. And just for some added NBA information that you can add to your brain place, Charles Barkley actually won the MVP in 1993 when he was wearing these shoes. Heat Check. Jordan Brand is on top of things this week, especially when it comes to black and gamma blue, and this time it's with the Air Jordan 1. Like the 6 rings I mentioned earlier, the model is building on the buzz set up by the Air Jordan 11 that's dropping later this year. It features a mostly black upper with touches of gamma blue for color and varsity maize for an accent. Now, in addition to the borrowed details from the Air Jordan 11, the model mixes mesh, leather, and patent leather to earn its Air Jordan 1 95 moniker. You can look for these to hit shelves at certain retailers such as Finish Line on Saturday for $130. Heat Check. Nike Basketball is keeping us focused on the KD6, and this weekend they're actually releasing 2 versions of the shoe. One's a lifestyle version and the other is a performance version. Starting with performance, the limited edition precision timing colorway will be showing up by retailers on December 7th and include the numbers 35 and 6 in the secret logo on the shoe's tongue. The second pair is the Gum KD6, which looks a lot more like a work boot kind of mashed up with the sneaker. It's inspired by the cold climate of the DMV, and the model features an all gum rubber upper with hits of raspberry. Now both of these are set to release on Saturday, and they both will be priced at $130. Heat Check. And finally, our friends over at Soul Collector put together a special colorway of the glove. Officially the Air Zoom Flight the glove, the model highlights GP's time in Seattle with a green shroud and a yellow inside. Details like GP, which are his initials, on the medial heel and his number 20 on the lateral heel help finish up the design, as does the sonic wave print that is on the upper. The price for these is going to be $150, and they will be available at very select locations. Heat check. All right, let's take a quick look at some of the shoes that are dropping this weekend over at Finish Line. First up, we have the Nike Air Max 2014. We also have the Nike Air Max Tailwind 6. Both of those are the runners in the group. Then on the basketball side, we have the D-Rose 4 in the Chicago Nightfall colorway. If you still want to play ball, you can also check out the Nike Air Force Max CB2 Hyperfuse with this updated version of Charles Barkley's shoe, and that's going to cost you $150. On the Jordan brand side, we have the 6 rings, and that's going to be in the black and camel blue colorway. But if the 6 rings isn't your thing, you can also get the Air Jordan 195, which shares the same black and gamma blue colorway, similar to the 11 that's dropping later this year. Now, there are also a couple of other things that are going to be dropping this weekend, such as the Kobe 8 What the Kobe. Those will be dropping this weekend. You can also see the Kevin Durant or the KD 6. That's going to come in the performance and the lifestyle version, precision timing, and the gum. And finally, our good friends over at Soul Collector got their hands on the glove and are releasing a colorway called the Glove GP. So make sure you check that out this weekend as well. Now, there are a ton of sneakers dropping this weekend, and I could not cover everything. However, I want you to let me know which shoes you think you're going to pick up this weekend right down in the comments. Heat check. Well, it looks like that's going to do it for the show today. Just want to thank you guys for watching. As always, I appreciate you very, very much. If you haven't already, make sure you like, favorite, and subscribe. That way you know whenever something awesome is happening here on the channel. And also, visit the links down in the description. It'll give you the full story about all of the shoes that I talked about today. Well, I am your host, Jacques Slade. This is the Heat Check, and I will see you soon. Peace.